last time, you guys. This is going to be the last time. Cynthia, we back. All masterclass. I'm putting in the chat. Registrations are down below. This is going to be the last time. And then I'm going to get off of here. I guess it's time for all of us to go to bed here shortly. So, y'all got any questions? Like, let me just talk to y'all until everybody comes on here. Any questions? Like I said, masterclass this Thursday on the 10th is all about, if you don't know where to jump in, I'll teach you like all the phases of foreclosure. It's absolutely free. We'll talk about if you got a little money, no money, some money. You know what I mean? Where do you want to start investing? We'll talk about it, and I'll teach you about that, how to buy, where to find them. Then the masterclass on Tuesday, the 15th, I think that's the bank-owned boot camp. A lot of y'all have reached out to me about that and signed up for them. Y'all have like signed up for all of them, honestly. Bank-owned boot camp is on the 15th, all about bank-owned properties. And if you're an agent and want to start listing, New Jersey's still overpriced. I believe you. And then the 17th is the pre-foreclosure playbook. So if you want to reach out to homeowners before they go to auction, I'm just going to talk for a few minutes and let everybody come back in here. And then we all going to bed, you guys. We all going to bed. So that's what's coming up this month. I think I'm going to have a little 3-day workshop for pre-foreclosure, like a little mini mentorship for y'all, because I didn't have one last month. So if we also wanted property on the water, where would we go? How about in the Caribbean? I'm looking to retire maybe out of the country. Who did I see? I can't remember what site I was on, but it had like foreclosures in like Puerto Rico, but I don't know what site I was on. I'm Central Time, right? So where I'm at, it's 8:10 right now. All my classes are 7 p.m. Central. 7 p.m. Central. A bunch of y'all have signed up. Shout out to everybody who has already signed up. The masterclass, they're always a good time, you guys. And if you get on the screen, you get extra points. So, Michaela, look, Michaela came on here talking about how your live going. It's going, Michaela. Just come on in here. It's going. It's going. We trying. So that's what's coming up this month. Masterclasses, a little mini mentorship for y'all who want to reach out to foreclosures. Is Realtor Track a good site to use to find what bank has the mortgage in an auction property? Is there a different site? Is Realtor Track a good site to use to find what bank has the mortgage in an auction property? Yeah, I think you can use Realtor Track. I use PropWire. I'm a PropWire kind of girl. If you can go to your property records and deeds, you can look on that site, put their address in, property records, like your county records and deeds office. You can see who has it there. PropWire is a good site. Foreclosure.com might have it. So you might, Cynthia, you might be able to get a mansion. That's what we all hoping for. I'm hoping for my Florida beach house for $22.17. Y'all know. I'm trying to see. That's what I'm trying to do. Clark talking about Russell Simmons' house. That was so funny. So that's what's going on. Masterclasses. So I shared some sites with you. HUD Home Store, Home Path. I'm going to type them in the chat. Look, y'all know I'm sharing the screen and it acts crazy. Home Path, homesteps.com. VRM Properties. That's the VA site, vrmproperties.com. That's the VA bank-owned site. You do not have to be a veteran to bid on them. HUD Home Store, Home Path, HomeStep, VRM, Truist, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo all have their own REO sites. Even auction.com, you can filter it by bank-owned. I would share my screen, but I get a little nervous because, we keep freezing up. But I put that in the chat, auction.com. A lot of those sites, you can filter it by bank-owned and foreclosure. So when it says foreclosure sale, that's an auction. Thanks, Justin. Shout out to Pirate Justin. He gonna say, here's a little something towards better internet. I know I need to get Starlink or something, right? Shout out to Justin. Pirate Justin, we appreciate you. I appreciate you. It's just me. Um, y'all better make a come up. That's why I'm on here. Don't just be on here looking at me. Y'all better be on there when you get off of here with me. Y'all better go find you a property. Just make an offer, y'all. Especially if it's been sitting on the market for 100 days. Just put in an offer. Right at this point, you can't offend. You cannot offend anybody. And if the agent says something, you say, y'all been on the market 100 days. Look, you better be happy you got an offer, is what I would say. You know what I mean? Um, so y'all better make some offers and see if you can get something shaken. And if you're a buyer, you better make sure you negotiate, especially if they've been on the market for a long time, because you're probably the only action that they done got in a long time. You know what I mean? So make your offers is what I would absolutely say. Make your offers, even if they're low. And if somebody's like, this is too low, you'd be like, I understand, but you've been on the market 100 days. Don't say that. Be like, I understand, but the way the market is going and prices are declining, I don't want to be upside down in a few months. So I'm not trying to offend your seller. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not buying a headache. And you've been on the market 100 days. You better take this offer and meet me at the closing table and pay for my closing and a home warranty. They'll be like, ma'am, I don't care. About how long is the time between a person missing a payment and bank auction? So usually, if a homeowner gets behind on their mortgage, 3 months, they will file that notice of default or that notice of sale, usually 3 months. And then, but it depends on if you live in a judicial state or a non-judicial state. I live in a non-judicial state. So you get behind on your mortgage, 3 months, the bank will file that notice of sale. They will give you 30 days to pay your entire past due amount, or your house goes up for auction in 30 days here in a non-judicial state. If you live in a judicial state, they give you more time, right? You go to court, you can contest it, you can say, I need more time. But it's a lot of people who haven't paid their mortgage since COVID. I see people every day who have not paid their mortgage in 3 years. One man called me and I was like, what's the past due amount? And he said $129,000. I'm like, you past due $130,000 past due? You haven't paid in like 4 years if you're behind on your mortgage $140,000. So, Tamika, they are down below. Down below, look in the description of this video. Look, down below. Let me see if I can drop a little something in the chat, a link that has everything with it. But y'all know when I get to clicking, the Wi-Fi get to acting crazy. Acting crazy. I want to show y'all some auction properties, but I don't know. I'm a little nervous. I get a little nervous. Y'all got any questions? Hold on. Here we go. Here's the link. Here's the link. So click on that link. It's got all the masterclasses. Everything is on that one. It's also down below. But yeah, usually 3 months, but I see people who have not paid in 4 years. It's a lot of people who have not paid since COVID. Look at you, Jamon. Is that what you're going to tell them? No, I'm going to tell the truth. This home is collecting dust and you're not making money. Take my offer or I'll walk. That's right. That's right. I'll be like, you don't want my offer? Okay. I'm going to holler at you in 2 weeks, but I need to let you know right now, my offer that I send in 2 weeks is not going to be this offer. If I have to come back in 2 weeks, it's going to be less than what it is right now. Tomorrow's offer is not going to be today's offer. So you probably need to take this offer that I'm giving to you now, because if I got to spin the block, it's going to be lower. Are there more judicial states that are blue or red? I don't know. So I know Illinois is a judicial state. Florida is a judicial state. I think parts of California. Foreclosurelaw.org, I think, will tell you. Foreclosurelaw.org. You can find out if you live in a judicial or non-judicial state. This one homeowner I know filed a forbearance. How do you feel about homeowners filing forbearance to try to keep them filing a forbearance to try to keep them paying? So, Clark, you mean like they talk to the bank? Forbearance means they put their payments on hold, basically. filing for it to try to keep them paying, right? So they put their payment on hold for a certain amount of time, filing for trying to keep them paying. I mean, I guess if that'll help them, we are a non-judicial state. The attorneys will tell you a close tape. If you don't pay, they will take it. They sure will. In Tennessee, in Memphis, they'll take your house too. Meant to say not paying for it to keep them. Most homeowners that I see have just been in the foreclosure cycle for so long. You guys, they got behind on their mortgage. They did a modification, right? Modification. Then they did a forbearance. Then they come out of forbearance, and then they might file, then they'll go back into foreclosure. Then they file bankruptcy. Like most of the people I'm seeing, they just been through the cycle so many times. And I had one lady, she was like, I'm just going to file bankruptcy again. She's like, it's not like they're going to tell me I can't file bankruptcy. I was like, okay, ma'am. And she'd be on the foreclosure list like every 6 months. She's like, I'm just going to file bankruptcy. I'm like, okay. So some people are just working the system, honestly. But it all runs out. Let me say that. It all runs out. The chickens come home to roost. The bill comes due. What other metaphor can I think of? But it all runs out. You know what I mean? It all eventually runs out. So people are just, you know what I mean? And if you got kids and you don't have anywhere to go, you know what I mean? You just living in survival mode at this point. I don't know. The food bank lines are like a mile long at this point. Even where I live, I don't know. People struggling. People are shutting jobs, laying off, and baby, AI gonna take everybody's job. It's not funny at all. I always say when I do that laugh, that's like the roller coaster laugh, right? At the end of the day going big glow. When I do that laugh, it's not a laugh. It's like I say, it's that laugh when you're on a roller coaster, like that nervous laugh, that like when you see what's coming, and a lot of people don't even know what's coming, right? We're just gonna see. Y'all just better hold on. That's all I can say. You better stack some money, get your little side gigs. When downturns in the market come, that always presents opportunity, like property preservation people, landscaping people. The banks will hire you to do that. I can't, Cork Star. Have you ever bought an auction that you did? I can't bid and buy at the same time. You know what I mean? I can't. You'd be like, plus 100 from me. I'd be like, like we were counting other people when I'm like going once, make it real slow. Like if they're doing it, like they'll be like plus 1,000. I'm like going once, going twice, plus 100 from me, going once, going twice, sold to me. They'd be like, no, ma'am. They would call everybody on me. It'd be like, fraud. So no, I can't buy and bid. But I always have like the trustees or the attorneys are like, if there's ever a property you want to bid on, just let us know. And then they'll call it and I can bid on it, right? But I can't bid and buy at the same time. If that makes sense. That's just not fair to anybody else, honestly. Let's see, y'all, I'm a little nervous to share my screen and show some auctions. Got any advice for someone who wants to get into this market as a realtor? I want to be in the distressed market and no one here actually negotiates. Girl, well, you get in there and you negotiate for your clients. Anybody who wants to get in real estate. Y'all know I've been in real estate. Next year will be my 20th year in real estate. I feel like I niched down, right? Like in real estate, I worked with first-time home buyers. I did all that, right? And then I became a broker and got my license and was over a firm, right? And now I'm an auctioneer. And not because I love the investment market. I feel like most people who get into real estate want to be investors, right? Like I feel like that's the ultimate goal for most real estate agents is to just be investors. That's why I got into real estate, because a Flip That House was so popular. And I was like, I want to do that. So, but your question is, as a real estate agent, learn everything you can learn, right? I've also recognized that now real estate is like a popularity contest, right? Now at the point, like the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Is that the, baby, I'm always trying to do a metaphor, right? But it's true. Like it's a popularity, like whoever is the loudest a lot of times seems to get the clients, whether or not they're a good agent or not, that doesn't matter. But if they can market, um, they'll get clients, which is not always good for our clients, right? Because I see people all the time. I'll be like, no, well, I mean, everybody's leaving the market now, and you be like, no, you was just doing lashes last week. Now you do taxes? I thought she was in real estate. You know what I mean? Like, no shade at all. Do everything you want to do. But just because you're the loudest does not mean you're the most educated or informed or knowledgeable when it comes to helping your clients, right? Like when people were yelling, date the rate, marry the house, I was like, why y'all yelling that? Like, that's not what, as an industry, no shade to if anybody did it. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Everybody in our industry was doing it, all the way at the top. Even our big NAR president was saying, date the rate, marry the mortgage. I'm like, y'all know that's predatory lending, right? Predatory lending is promising a lower interest rate in the future to somebody. Buy now and you will get a lower interest rate. That is predatory lending at its finest, right? But everybody was saying it. I heard mortgage lenders telling people the rates are going down at the end of the year. Rates going down at the end of the year. Just go ahead and buy now. Y'all, rates ain't went down. That was in 2023 when that lender was telling people that. 23? Rates have done nothing but go up, right? So my point is, because you like, Ashley, get to the point, baby, because I'm always going to take the scenic route to tell a story, right? We need more people who are knowledgeable. Like, I love negotiating. I'll just pay an agent to go show some houses. I'll be like, go show these houses. But when it comes to submitting an offer, that's the part I like. Like, let's get the party started. Like, let's negotiate, right? But you're right. A lot of agents don't want to negotiate, which is not good for your clients, right? That ain't good for you. That is not helping your clients. And now it's a lot of people upside down, right? Because everybody was bidding $40,000 and $50,000 over asking, and now look at here. Now everybody upside down. And when it happened, I was like, y'all know they're gonna come reevaluate these taxes, right? And sure enough, they've come and reassessed everybody's taxes, and everybody's mortgage has gone up, right? Um, because of all these prices have skyrocketed. And I know everybody's like on a fixed mortgage, but fixed is only principal and interest. It's not taxes and insurance, right? Actually, we need the backstories. We need that history so we don't step in it. What on what? What backstory? Because when it came down to it, they weren't. And a lot of agents, and no shade to people. I mean, the barrier to entrance to get in real estate is very low. Like, the barrier to entrance is low, right? You go to class, take a test, and you in here, right? Um, which doesn't help, people who I remember when people were bidding up houses and a couple years ago, somebody was saying um their client paid $100,000 over asking. What's up, Orlando? Everybody say hey to Orlando. I love Orlando. I swear I binge watched her channel like the other day. I love his channel. Um, $100,000 over asking, you guys. Why would you do your client like that? Besides for commission. So I always say, you guys, it's more than us crossing our arms and taking a picture with our back straight. You know what I mean? So that's what this industry has become, right? But nobody's like looking out for homeowners. And when people were bidding 100K over asking, right? Like I don't know. You guys, that's not how you go about buying a house. I always say you're not buying a shirt, right? You can't return these houses. Once you in it, right? And I don't know. A lot of agents I have no problem submitting a low offer. Like, I have no problem negotiating. Why? Because I can defend any offer I send over to you, right? If I'm going to lowball you, I'm going to defend it. I'm going to tell you why I'm lowballing you, right? Because the last 3 houses that sold in this neighborhood sold for under asking, right? Your price is still based off a year ago when you put this house on the market, right? So we can go back and forth. I had an agent tell me the other day, he was like, well, it appraised for 800 in 2021. Sir, that don't have nothing to do with me in 2025, what your client's house appraised for. Y'all been on the market for 311 days, right? I don't care. And he was like, well, maybe it's a learning curve with your client. No, maybe it's a learning curve with you. I don't care what your client paid for in 2021. That has nothing to do with this property right now that's overpriced, right? You can't send me a comp that justifies this price that it's on the market for. So, and you've been on the market 311 days. Take this offer, right? Like, so, no, and that's what he sent me. And when he sent it, I was like, because sometimes I get in my feelings, right? I'd be like, don't insult my intelligence talking about it appraised in 2021. What does that have to do with anything in June of 2025? I don't know, but I know CD is over there like, Ashley, that is not what I asked you. Be an honest realtor, right? I never chase commission. I just have not, right? That's not my thing. I'll be the first one. I had an agent tell me, I lowballed him because I had the buyer, I lowballed him. He was like, well, the seller said with the commission he has to pay and all this, cut my commission in half. Now what? Send it back to your client. Cut my commission in half. And that agent was like, dang. She was like, really? I'm like, yeah. If that means my client is going to get this house for cheaper and come in with some equity, cut my commission in half. Right? Like I know you didn't think that was going to sway this offer. I remember in 2021 and 2022 when people were overbidding and my clients were getting offers, and this agent called me and she was like, how are you winning offers in this market? I said, I'm cutting my commission. She was like, what? Yeah, I said, we're not waiving inspections. I'm not waiving an appraisal. I'm not waiving an inspection. I cut my commission, and either that agent can take my commission or the seller can have it. And I'm sure that agent took that part. I'll cut my commission. I'm not waiving an appraisal and I'm not waiving an inspection. I'm not going to do that to my client. So she was like, oh, no wonder you win. Yeah. Because I'm not worried about that. And I'm like, and we're not overpaying $40,000 and $50,000 for a house. We'll go find another one. So, you guys, I've just never been an agent like that, right? I don't ever want my client to come back and be like, Ashley, I'm upside down. You know what I mean? Or Ashley, I'm stuck in this house. So, just being honest and negotiate, right? As long as you can back up why you submitted that offer, right? And in this day and time, it's a buyer's market. We can find another house. You've been sitting on the market over 100 days. It's self-explanatory why I'm offering this low for my client. We're not going to inherit your headache, right? I understand your seller overpaid. That has nothing to do with my client, though. You know, yeah. So just always do what's right. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, just do what's right. So but now I work on the investment side. I love my first time home buyers and on market, but baby, agents and sometimes buyers, I just stick to my side, investment side. Yes, it's just what you got to do, right? You guys, it's 8:32. Okay, let me try to show an auction, right? And then we're gonna you're welcome. Y'all just do what's right. The money will come. I promise it will. Absolutely. Always. And none of my clients gonna be like, Ashley, I'm upside down. Not any of them. I was like, I told them, I said, they're like, you think we need to pay over? You can go find you another agent. But not ever will I tell you to waive an appraisal or waive an inspection to get a house. Never. Not ever. So you can get you another agent to do that. But nope. And we'll just keep looking. You know what I mean? We'll just keep looking. But if you got to cash out your 401k, you got to go in your savings, you got to borrow money from your relatives, to buy a house, that's not the house that you need. You know what I mean? You need to be able to afford it comfortably, not barely. That's how I feel about it with anything. Um, let's do a couple little auctions. Let's see if we can keep it together. If not, y'all, if the internet go crazy, we going to bed. That's just our signal to go to bed. Okay. So let's see if I can share my screen one time. Let's see, class. Can we blink if you can see my screen? Blink if you can see my screen. Okay, cool. So, okay, we're here, you guys. This is a site that shows auction properties. This is this week. I will drop it in the chat for you. You can see this is this week's, and then you can go back and look at previous week's auctions, right? If you are new here, cool. Everybody's with me. Everybody's with me. So I can explain really quick to you. This is a trustee site. The trustees represent the banks, right? They schedule the auctions. They send out that certified letter to you that you are in foreclosure, right? And they schedule your auction. No, you cannot reach out to them to try to negotiate. Y'all always ask me that. Can I reach out to the bank to buy the house before auction? No. If you want to buy the house before auction, you need to talk to that homeowner. That's who you talk to. So this is last week's schedule. Last week was a big auction week, first Tuesday of the month, right? So let me explain a couple things. I'll drop this in the chat so you can see it. We've got the property address right here. Can y'all still see me? I always have to click back because I don't want y'all to freeze up. Yep, I'm going to drop this in. Hold on. I'm going to drop this in the link for you. Here's the link. There are plenty of trustees, okay? We will talk about that in, what class will that be? Pre-foreclosure playbook. I'll give y'all a list of like 100 trustees. That class is on the 17th, I believe it is. So here is one. So let me explain. This is the address of the property. This is the county. All these auctions are at the courthouse in the county courthouse. Okay. So this is the time. This tells you the status of the auction. CXL means canceled. PP means postponed. Auctions get postponed all the time. The homeowner might be trying to forbearance. The homeowner might be trying to sell it and ask for some more time. The homeowner might have filed bankruptcy. A lot of times that will just postpone an auction. It does not always cancel it because everybody filing bankruptcy right now. So postpone just means it's been moved to another date. The opening bid will be posted right here. Okay, this was the opening bid, and these are the results. When this number and this number are the same, that means it did not sell and it went back to the bank. And it is now a what class? An REO property. Okay, so if these two numbers are the same, the results, it didn't sell and it went back to the bank. So canceled, and I look at this every week, and a lot of these properties are going back to the bank. Okay, so is everybody with me? I am not frozen. I just dropped in the chat, which they own. So if that way the investors decide they all want to sell tomorrow, it doesn't put my client in position to get their equity stripped right away. Boom, good. Auction Mama University, that's what it is, ain't it? We got class. We got classes on Thursday coming up, and then next Tuesday and Thursday in Auction Mama University. So let's look at a couple of these, and I'll click on them. So this was last week. Like I said, the first Tuesday of the month is a big auction day. Texas, Georgia, y'all auction the first Tuesday of the month. So you will see a lot of, here's Georgia. These are the counties, like bunch of Georgia counties. So here's one. Let's see. This is Maricopa, Arizona. Opening bid was 1.1. It sold for $1 over. Sold for $1 over. Maybe it was only one person at the, let's see if I can get to it without. Okay, y'all with me? I don't want it to freeze up on us. Let's see what she looked like for $1 million. There she is. There she is. 1.1 sold for 1.1. What'd I say? 1.15 and $1 over. She's cute, huh? I guess if you live in Scottsdale, what y'all think? Looks like it's worth 1.3, 4 bedrooms, baths with a swimming pool. Went up for auction. There she is. You know, I always like to look and see when they bought it. Dang, did they just buy it in 2024? That's the last time it sold. It looks like they just bought it and lost it. Golly, what is today? July? In less than a year, lost it to foreclosure? Let you get behind on a mortgage payment of 1.3. Maybe you going straight to foreclosure. Miss one payment, and it's a wrap. Y'all, that is sad. Don't you think, you guys? You just bought a house in September of last year and lost it to foreclosure less than a year later. That's crazy. You're right, you guys. Okay, y'all still with me? So that one, okay, so make sure y'all looking at the same screen I'm looking at. Nope, hold on. Okay, y'all back to the auction screen with me. Blink if you can see. Blink if you can see. Yes, Clark. Come on, Clark. You need to do a masterclass on helping people bid at the tax sale, Clark. Okay, so let's move on down. So we've got, it looks like that one went back to the bank. This is Georgia. One first opening bid the same, 165. Y'all can go look at these yourself when we get off here. You know, I always try to look at the high price ones. Okay, opening bid was 77 and it's sold. Let's see what we can get you guys. Boom. Hold on, I'm gonna share that. There it is. They probably put very little down, never pay nothing, live well for a year for practically nothing. You're right. That's what a lot of people like. If I see you just bought last year and you in foreclosure now, that tells me that you probably bought it and never made a payment. You're right, Randy. You are absolutely right. So I'm here. So this one, how you gonna have 0 baths? 2 bedrooms, 0 baths? 77,000 was the opening bid and it sold for $145,000. Looks to be, was Zillow said 229. That don't have to be the truth though. You know what I mean? Opening bid was 77. Let's see. They had it for a while. Looks like. Yeah, no wonder that opening bid was kind of low. 77. Somebody should have called them. One of y'all should have called them and tried to get them to sell before it went to auction. That's what y'all should have done. Okay, let's see. A lot of cancels. People gonna file bankruptcy. People are gonna try to save it. Let's see. Oh, y'all, this one has been up so many times. Clark is gonna be like, Ashley, you share that one every time. Y'all, this one been up so many times. There it is. Can y'all see my screen? Like those doc loans get in. Y'all, they said there is a lender. Y'all get this. They said there is a lender who has a 50% default rate. His clients, 50% of his clients default on their first payment, and he a lender. He doing some shady stuff. 50% of your clients default on their first payment. You're not qualifying them. 50%. There it is. Okay, so opening bid was, y'all, this one been up for auction so many times. I can't even tell you how many times this one been up for auction. Opening bid was 2.6 and it did not sell. Went right on back to the bank. 2.6 million and did not sell at auction. Here's another one. This one been up a couple times too. Hold on. Bear with your auction mama. Okay, this one. There it is. There she is. Opening bid was 3.149 and it did not sell. 3.1 million did not sell. That one been up plenty times too. 7 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms. Y'all can see my screen. Let me make sure y'all can see my. Baby, you missed one mortgage payment on a $3 million. It's a wrap. You better go and pack your stuff up. Started taking pictures off the wall. Let's see. They tried to sell it. They tried to rent it. Tried to sell it. There it is. They tried to not $950. Back in 2015. Hold on, y'all. Look at this history. What in the world? I don't know. I can't even. They tried to rent it. I guess they rented it for $2,500. But that says, I don't know, y'all. Look, I don't know. Listing removed. Listed for rent. 2013. Listed for rent. Price change. $950. Not for that house. Not $950. $1,450. $1,450. $1,000. $950. 21. Y'all look at this. I don't know. Okay, now 2020 listed for sale for $2.8 million. 2021, $2.7 million. Was it on the market from 2020 to 2021? Yeah. Then they took it off the market in 2021. And then I guess they went into foreclosure. Yeah, that little history was a little confusing, honestly. I don't know. It is Atlanta, y'all. Is this where the housewives live? I don't know Atlanta like that. Maybe it is a housewife house. Let's see if what is sold. Lots of cancels. I'm bringing y'all back over here on the auction side. You're right. They must be renting rooms because I'm like, not $950. That's probably the light bill. You're right. They probably was renting rooms. You're right. Look at this. Like nothing sold. Well, this one sold for $50 over. This one sold. Opening bid was $169. Sold for $170. Let's see. $489. Travis, Texas. They didn't buy it. It went back to the bank. Let's see what's Travis, Texas? What city is that? What's Travis County? Y'all know I don't know. Austin. Is Travis County? Y'all, is that it? Price Saints. Is that it? 5103 Valley Oak. Opening bid was $489,000. That's what y'all doing in Austin? That's how y'all getting down in Austin? Okay, for $489. It looks like an investor might have bought it. Maybe tore it down, started building, and ran out of money. Maybe that's what happened. I see that a lot. An investor picked it up, and you run out of money. You know what I mean? Listed for sale for $550. I don't know. Y'all, Zillow have you confused. But again, like I said, the opening bid was $489,000 and it did not sell. Maybe it's the land. Maybe it's the neighborhood. You know, y'all get down differently. I think an investor is losing all his properties right here in St. Louis. Right here, DLCDs. Boom. None of them sold. They all went back to the bank, if y'all can see that there. How you do that there? There it is. So that was last week, you guys. That was last week. I dropped that link in the chat for y'all to go look, have a little look-see. Oh, what is this for $5 million? Hold on. Deuce of Clubs Drive in Navajo, Arizona. Let's see what this is, shall we, class? Hold on. Hold on, let me make sure y'all still there because I'll be done froze up. House will be a shun ass and crazy number 3. Jonathan. Every time I look at it, I'll be like, slam her up. Clark, I ain't gonna play with you. Clark, Hollins bankruptcy. How are you? Attorney Hollins. If you need to file bankruptcy, call him. Okay, you guys. This is, it's a Holiday Inn. Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn on LoopNet that went up for auction. What I say opening bid was $5 million. Y'all, they used to pop in fireworks outside my house. I know I live in Memphis. Them was not gunshots. Those are fireworks. $5 million is the opening bid. It looks like it's a hotel, a Holiday Inn. Serious buyers are encouraged to bring all offers. 69 room, 3-story interior corridor. and it went up for auction and did not sell. If y'all need a hotel, motel, Holiday Inn, whoop, there it is. Good. Let's see. Let's recent, and then we're all going to bed. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Anybody see anything else interesting? Ooh, that one, they got that one for a penny over. Look at that. 14 cents, they paid 15 cents. Penny over. Depending on what trustee, you can do that. You can get it for a penny over. Some of them want at least $1, but some of them will take a penny. They just trying to get rid of them. Okay, now this is this week's, you guys. This is what's coming up tomorrow and for the rest of the week. Let's see if I see anything interesting on here. By interesting, I mean the opening bid is real high. Oh, I know this one. This is a nice one. This one been up a bunch of times too in LA. Let's see. They don't have an opening bid for it yet. This tab. Look at her, you guys. 3.5. This one is going up for auction on July 8th. You guys, they don't have an opening bid. It's been up a bunch of times though. So get behind on that payment and see what happened. Big and small, the bank will call. If you don't pay that mortgage, no, nothing wrong with mortgage. There it is. Look at it. Going up for auction today. When y'all be like, it's only hood houses up for auction. Okay. If you think so. That's LA, isn't it? Sign you up for the penny auction. That's what I'm talking about. A penny over. A penny. And I want my change back. Let's see. There's a bunch. This looks like, I don't know, it must be some little, when you see all the addresses the same, probably an investor losing, and probably some little townhouses. Let's see what's going on in Maricopa, Arizona, you guys, shall we? I dropped the link in the chat so y'all can go look at these at your own leisure, you know, little bedtime reading. Let's see what this is in Phoenix. Of course, you don't have a picture for me. Let's see. Okay, there we go. It is. It's like a group of townhouses. It looks like. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 townhouses in a row up for auction. So the investor, it's probably one person who owns all of them and is losing all of them. Or maybe it's the builder, you know what I mean? Or the developer who built it. They look like they might be new. So he might be losing all of them. Townhomes built in 2024. So that's probably what it is. It's probably the builder who built them and losing all of them to auction. Y'all better call them. Opening bids 563, 578.